There's plenty of action on the two-wheel side as well, and we've already seen launches coming from Honda motorcycle and scooter. There has been a lot of attention on the brand. Remember, there has been a huge expansion from the company as well. Let's get all those details now from Mr. Guleria, who's speaking to us. Good to see you here, and thank you for taking the time to come to our studio.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Busy morning already. You've already unveiled the products that everybody was looking forward to.
Yeah, it is going to be a very eventful year for us in the history of Honda two-wheelers in the country, because this is the first attempt we have tried to create a new segment altogether in the two-wheelers. And the basic, when we started, another, good thing about it's first time, a lot of pride for us. It's a 100% Honda R&D India effort, right from the concept stage to its commercial production. So that's something, we all are proud of.
That's the first one.
Yes.
Yeah, because we've not had that sort of a product from you where everything has happened here in India.
Yeah.
What's the significance of doing the product? I mean, creation of a new segment is one thing.
Yeah.
What was the need to create that segment?
Yeah, see, first of all, when we try to understand the Indian two-wheeler scenario in totality, so what we can, analyzing the data, so almost 70% of the two-wheelers sold in the country, they are having an engine displacement up to 110 cc. And the irony of this segment is, there are a lot of products, but they are all something like, me too or look-alike. So hardly much differentiation, whether it is a scooter or it's a motorcycle, in terms of specifications or in terms of features or looks. So that's where, we together with Honda R&D India tried to challenge and wanted to unleash the fun DNA of Honda, seeing the potential. And at the same time, the challenge was how to, remain aloof from that syndrome of sameness. So that was the biggest challenge. And I think the final creation, which has come out in form of Navi, the concept was named that, okay, let's try to build together new additional value for India. And somehow we coined the project stage as Navi. And then everybody, once the product took its in the shape which is already launched, so we stayed with the name because it was so emotionally for our entire team to get connected over a period of time, and finally we went ahead with the Navi name only, and we are quite confident that this is going to create a totally new segment for the youth of the country.
What was the cornerstone of that project for you? Was it the price challenge? Was it the fact that even in terms of shape and size, the bike is different? It's not like the regular bikes. It's a little bit smaller. And so which was the, let's say, the starting point of this?
As I informed earlier, since we already zeroed down or where we want to have the space in, it was the 70% of the market which we are looking at. And the biggest challenge was, having additional value, yet this, 100 to 110 cc segment is also price conscious at the same time. So this was the biggest challenge, so which was in the change. That not we started that we want to stay below 40,000, but somehow once the development started, the first stage, okay, let us see our current portfolio. And the biggest, the weapon for us was the Activa. So we had this tried and trusted Activa with more than 1 crore of customers already there on the road. So this was the obvious choice of the entire team for the engine. So that was the heart of the vehicle. So automatic 110 cc HET engine of Activa, and then the frame and other points of to keep the overall project cost in very affordable to the customer in this price band. So that's how the beginning started, and then keeping the engine and the frame of Activa, the entire development concept started. And when it started to taking the shape, good part was it again came out as a unisex appeal, because the expansion of this particular segment is going to happen only if it is going to appeal to its universal acceptance. And that's how finally it's a unisex product, and the girls are going to like it, and the unlimited possibilities it provides to the youngsters to create the vehicle they the way they want, the fashion statement, or the street version, the adventure version, the off-road version. So they are going to be the future expansion of how they can realize their dreams into reality.
So of course, I know that everybody asks you the same question, but how many do you expect to sell?
Yeah, so see, of course, any company would like to keep some target to begin with. So, but in terms of number, we are not sharing. But we are confident that with the fourth factory of Gujarat, we have now additional capacity available. Of course, it is going to be the world's biggest scooter-only factory, and since we are sharing the engine also,
makes sense to me.
yeah, so we have a lot of scope for expansion based on the demand.
But significant volumes? I mean, you're not just looking at this as being one of the products. It's going to be a significant driver of volume for you?
It may evolve, later on. There in subsequent months, definitely something new is going to happen on the similar kind of platform. But it is going to be a stepwise approach, not so significant from beginning, because the challenge is also to create awareness about the segment, because it is all about creation of a new segment. So it's not accelerated on from the day one, and then you can start churning out the numbers. And once this segment is created, I think there is no end to it.
It's not the only product, of course, on your stand. You've got a very busy few days here at the expo, and there's lots to see. So run us through the rest of it in terms of not just what we're seeing at the expo, but how it's going to play out in terms of what you bring to market in this calendar year.
In fact, except maybe one or two things, we have almost showcased everything. It's not only the concepts. So everything what is showcased today in this Auto Expo is going to come, and already maybe a started production. So Unicorn 160 gets a new facelift. One of the product which was very close to everybody's heart, that the first motorcycle of HMSI, the Unicorn 150, it is back again because of the irresistible demand from the fan club out there. More than 13 lakh users already there for Unicorn. So again, Neo gets a facelift, and CD 110 comes with the self-start now. And next big step for not only the market, but for the company itself in terms of skill set of our own manufacturing line. So we would be starting to make the Africa Twin in India. So that's another big step, because this opens up more possibilities for us in terms of making or taking, in fact, more business from the global Honda operation. So that is something new which is going to happen.
That's in fact what I wanted to ask you about, the fact that you are going to make it here, and it also then puts you into a different space in terms of the kind of market potential you see with it, not just from a pricing point of view, but also the flexibility of being able to take it to market in larger volumes. So do you see that being like a significant brand shaper as well for you this year? The Africa Twin?
Yeah, of course. Once we talk about a brand which makes 110cc up to 1800cc GLX, we have the Goldwing. So that kind of expansion of the product range, I think that is very unique for Honda in India. So we are proud of that. So definitely it has that brand statement, the DNA of Honda, the technology, the innovation. So all have been showcased. Like we have even showcased again this time the CX-02, which is again Honda R&D in India effort. So in terms of the concept. So things are definitely evolving and start taking shape slowly, one by one.
So what you're saying is that what we're seeing today is not just a display of strength, but it's a very clear intention in terms of what comes to market.
For sure, yes.
Okay, that's very encouraging. Last point, of course, is about manufacturing capacity. Yes, you have the new plant coming on stream, and so where do you see yourself maybe by the end of this year in terms of actual manufacturing numbers, and also the requirement very quickly for the next step, because we're already talking about the next step in terms of the kind of volume you're anticipating?
Yeah, first thing is the year is going to be very significant in terms of the threshold of 5 million. This is the first time in same year we are going to cross. So that's the first point. And second, yes, now we have the installed capacity with the fourth plant to 5.8 million. For any company, the best thing would be to utilize 100% of capacity, the way we are doing for our 3 factories. So that's the near future kind of target. And at the same time, since expansion of capacity requires a lot of investment and even time and energy in terms of finalizing the location and other infrastructure, setting up the infrastructure. So parallelly things are on. And maybe the next step would going to be
consideration on that.
I think that is still a little further, but since in our third factory in Bangalore, so there is additional space available. So we have done some groundwork already. The leveling of the land is there, and
so you could have
as and when, yeah, after 5.8 million, if immediate requirement is there and demand is there, we can further add on 6 lakh. So we have potential of 6.4 million capacity.
And that's just in the short term anyway. So
Yeah.
you possibly have a requirement for even bigger numbers after that. One last thing, of the products that you'll be making here now, and you will be focusing on the India manufacturing, how much of that contributes to Honda's global overall supply?
So I think 2015 again, by end of the calendar year, it was very big milestone for Honda two-wheelers India operation. That in terms of production for the domestic market, we have crossed Indonesia, and we became the largest two-wheeler company for globally for Honda two-wheelers operation. So that's a very big milestone for us, and hopefully with the addition of this capacity, new factory, fourth factory in Gujarat, our capacity as well as dispatches may remain at #1 position for global Honda operation. And currently we close at 25% plus kind of contribution to the global Honda business. So we hope we will continue to drive our volumes as well as importance in two-wheeler operations of Honda globally.
But would you also look to increase exports as a part of that?
Currently, based on our own forecast, we see that still we are not enough capacity for the domestic market. So focus is going to remain on the domestic market. However, still we are doing close to 2 lakh annual numbers in exports. Some addition of new countries in Latin America is going to happen in FY17. So maybe some incremental volume in exports will also come, but still the main focus is domestic market.
It's going to be a busy year, as you said, and we are looking forward to every bit of it. Can't wait to ride the new products as well. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Have a great time at the expo and through the year.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.